studied. One is German unification, one is Italian unification, and the third one, not very popular, but then we have to remember, it is Great Britain. Okay. So these two, you are expecting at least 2 or 3 questions here, 2 questions here, and might be 1 question here. So this German is very important and very easy to mug up also. So shall we? So where I was with my volume. Give me any one volume. नहीं तेरे पास एक ही है, तू बैठ. तुझे encyclopedia दिया तो भी उसमें से भी तू नहीं पढ़ने वाला. We are in page number, I think directly you can go to that hunger hardship, just keep it aside. I will be doing it on page number 14. We are making of Germany and Italy. Did you see it?
Yes.
Shall I take over the reading? No, that's okay. For your betterment. After 1848, nationalism in Europe moved away from its association with democracy revolution. What is democracy revolution? Now you are also tired, sir. Nationalism, revolution. Let us step into a new chapter. What is that? Unification. What is, according to you, unification? When one country's citizens are scattered, when a country is fragmented, like Italy. Boy, he's giving him blessings. Thank you. So, if a country is fragmented, if the people are scattered away, we are trying to bring them under one banner. You understand banner? Under one roof. So that is a perfect example of the word German unification. Italian was more of a scattered kingdom. 7 provinces, out of which, if I tell you well in advance, there was only 1 province which was ruled by an Italian prince or Italian ruler. The province name was, any idea? Sardinia. It is Sardinia Piedmont. So how these are going to unify, that's a wonderful story. In future, India is going to unify all Indians not living in India. What does it mean? Maybe like Akhanda Bharat. We will be stretching across Israel and Afghanistan. Correct? We do not know. I'm just saying like that. So this is what the new story of unification. Okay? Let's proceed ahead. Then the next slide. Nationalist sentiments often mobilized by conservatives by promoting the state for achieving political domination over Europe. This can be further. I'm explaining that line. Nationalist sentiments mobilized by conservatives. What is mobilize? Other word? Made use of. Who took that nationalist feeling? The conservatives. They established what kind of government? Autocratic. You underline what is autocratic? Monarchy will be there and a constitution will also be there, which we do not know. What happened today? Not well. Yawning profusely. What? Want some splash some water and come back? Or have some glass of water as you are having earlier. This can be observed in the process of Germany and Italy. Okay, now start putting points now as I'm reading. Unification of Germany by Otto von Bismarck. Nationalist feelings widespread among, underline, middle-class Germans in 1848 unite different regions of German Confederation into a nation state by a parliament. Which was that parliament? I didn't read that, but I'll be reading it soon. Second, this initiative for nation building was repressed by, what is repressed?
Like oppressed.
You can, one is the word you write, controlled. 2 forces were breaking that force. One was monarchy, another was the military. You understand what does it mean? An earlier attempt of bringing all the German-speaking provinces under one was not liked by one, the monarch. Second, by the military. Dono power ko use karke he destroyed the which process? Unification process. Second point. Third point. Then on, Prussia took on the leadership of the movement of national. Underline that word, Prussia. And who's the chancellor? Not a chancellor, chief minister.
Prussia.
Prussia. Otto von Bismarck. Circle his name. Was the chief architect. Whatever point number is. There were 7 wars with, underline, Austria, Denmark and France.
So 3 wars over 7 years.
Sorry. 3 wars over 7 years. इसको हम लोग 7-year war भी बोलते हैं. Because 3 different countries, but only one country is fighting. What is that? Prussia. Austria, Denmark, and France. But in those days, France was considered to be a biggest power. Prussia defeated it, but then Prussia's glory went ahead. In fact, if I tell you through a little bit of not exact diagram, but German was like this into two federation it was. Okay, the small federation was said German Confederation. Correct? I have a video with that, but I'll let it afterwards. And this was called as Greater Germany. So Greater Germany, we can say a bit of this Prussian ruler. Who was he? Chief Minister Otto I. And these are minor constituencies where majority people are which speaking? German speaking people. Now it's bringing all the confederations, all the unions or all the states where majority which people are living? Germans. So don't we think in India all the Hindi speaking people should come together? Is there any needed now? Already we are together only. Maybe अगर आगे जाके टूट गया तो फिर ये काम अपने को भी करना पड़ेगा जो नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, look at the next line. So that is German speaking areas were given to Germany in Jan 1871. Prussian king. Hey, there is one more line. If you go down, there is Kaiser William I. Did you see? He is the same person who is William I. ऊपर लिखा है. Kaiser William ही नाम है. Was proclaimed the German emperor. Underline that word. Ceremony in Versailles. Which year it was? Who was the king? William I. He was made the emperor. Next, on the bitterly cold morning 18th Jan. ये पूरा line को simple line में लिखने का. Besides the bitterly cold morning, representatives, princes, and ministers met. Where did they meet? Unheated Hall of Mirrors at Versailles. ये अभी भी German का बहुत important जगह माना जाता है. Where many meetings, many conferences are held. And look at that places to proclaim. Where the German Confederation was signed in that particular hall. Proclaimed, underline, new German emperor headed by Kaiser William I. He was from Prussia. The nation building process in Germany had, underlined, demonstrated the dominance of the Prussian state power. Why dominance of German? The Prussian. Who was the person? I didn't write his name. Otto von Bismarck. He was the main who? Architect of German unification. Wait, let me finish. And then the new state proclaimed strong emphasis, open bracket. New state of which country? Germany. Modernizing the currency, banking, legal and judicial systems. And the last one, Prussian measures and practices often became, underlined, model for the rest of the Germany. So we started with Otto von Bismarck. And we ended with the modernization of which country? Germany. A new country or a nation state called as Germany. Now, I don't know how many points you have marked. Just check how many points are coming. Try to be minimum 5 points. Are you sure 5 hai?
7 and 6.
It's up to you. But try to be. Now you check. You check. Sorry. Next time. You check. You want me to give this answer ready-made in your notebook, or you can write on your own. Just check. So put the question only. Briefly explain the unification of Germany. You keep the volume with you. I think I got a volume earlier. Briefly explain the unification of Germany. Briefly explain the unification of Germany. Same question. Why Otto von Bismarck or why Otto von Bismarck was regarded as the chief architect? Why Otto von Bismarck was regarded as the chief architect of, come on, how do you complete the question? German unification, of German unification. Now check writing at least 1 to 3 points, or you want me to give you a kick start or a jump start or a push start? Was regarded as the chief architect of German unification. Start writing at least 2 points and tell me.
Sir,
easy.
can we start from पहले तो
Context.
क्या पहले तो
as
you start, or if you want me to give it a start, I am ready.
Germans who in 1848 tried to unite the different regions of the German Confederation into a
And that's
union
just an
state.
ordinary line.
So how do we start like about Ottoman Bismarck?
Now, because if you want to start that answer, you have to write the main architect. Who is that fellow?
Ottoman Bismarck.
So if you are starting the answer with that point or heading, that will be far superior. Superior in the sense it is easy for the board examiner to give you a better marks on that.
So it's like it's from Ottoman Bismarck was the architect of this process.
Yes, that's the way you start the answer. Correct. So you bring that answer with Ottoman Bismarck's name only.
And from there to model of the rest of
Pile. You write at least that point number 1. Then why are you starting and concluding the answer? Because the main hero of the unification has to be first. Was he thinking and writing? You can look at the volume and write. Look at the volume and write. No, you do it. If you are knowing it, it's okay. But don't take such big challenges. Be very simple. Here we are not backing you for getting pass marks, man. What is that? Give me a bright smile for that. The photo that next year you are the toppest of the board examiner. Nice. You're from which school, man? Sanpada.
Yes.
Anyone from here then? You all same class? Different class. It's okay. Carry on. तू तो पूछता ही That was just a friendly tap. It hardly took 2 or 3 minutes to understand and maybe 5 minutes to learn the answer. But learning should be such confident, you will never forget. At least till the board exam comes to an end.
Can we write Ottoman Bismarck was the architect of this process?
Can be क्या वही तो है main.
नहीं तो उसके बाद army their Russian army.
नहीं वो सब नहीं चाहिए. They crushed it वो सब नहीं चाहिए. Directly put more emphasis on what Ottoman is doing.
Called the German unification.
What Ottoman is doing ज़्यादा emphasis उधर दो.
So 3 wars भी है.
Definitely. That is very important. Like 3 wars भी लिखना है. 3 wars fought with a period of 7 years. Try to get a video of that same.
3 wars of 7 years.
सर मैं समझा नहीं 3 words और ये unification का relation क्या है?
Wait, I'm getting it. Just keep writing and I'll show you a better.
मैं समझा नहीं बस.
Yes.
Sir, armchair historian. Armchair historian.
Armchair
historian.
Who?
He is a channel.
Over a new channel. History channel is there.
History
channel. Which?
We are searching Ottoman Bismarck.
No. I'm getting the unification of Germany.
Germany.
But I don't want to be.
Wait, the 3 wars.
Wait.
The control of Russia over
तो वो होता है जर्मनी कंट्रोल कर जर्मनी को यूनिट.
मैं आ रहा हूँ चल.
सर मुझे पहला वाला वीडियो देखा था वही अच्छा है.
And I know I've already played in some people
हाँ Cold War. DDR, GDR. Sir. FDR.
I think this is far better. Just understand this. You will know what is the German unification. Just listen carefully. You have to keep the volume low.
सही बात है.
The volume is very low. Look, how many divisions of the same Germany? Soviet Union or Germany?
कुछ नहीं समझ वॉल्यूम इतनी कम मुझे कुछ समझ
This is
नहीं
like a different time period.
After
This is Ottoman Bismarck. Let me check this one.
1805, the Austrian army is on the march against Napoleon in England. And leading this army was Francis II, Holy Roman Emperor, who was also the Emperor of Austria, a tightly raised insult to Napoleon, declaring himself the Emperor of France, because he wasn't bound to be our emperor by any. So, as far as empires go, the Austrian Empire was fairly Roman. The Roman Empire, however, was not so. It was comprised of hundreds of mostly German-speaking states before it was the most powerful state in Napoleon was Austria, followed by Prussia.
We have a war with Austria. That's the country.
After being defeated by Napoleon, Francis gave up his title of Holy Roman Emperor. The Holy Roman Empire itself was dissolved in 1806. Most of its former states, except notably Prussia and Austria, were brought into the Confederation of Iran, which was the French parts. The people who lived in these states were somewhat happy with the predominance of France, and they quickly began to resent the French. One way to counter French influence was to emphasize just how German. So, besides, the term German was used to refer to people that spoke German. There were Germans, but no German. In some respects, there was a sense of shared identity and culture, but Germans were also very developed in religion, economics, and politics. So, long story short, after the Napoleon had been defeated by the Russians, Prussia and Austria rose up against them. By 1850, and 1750, after Napoleon's defeat, the Congress of Vienna was called to establish and maintain.
It was 1850, the Treaty of Vienna.
Its balance of power is known as the Concept of Europe. And Clemens von Metternich is very important to the establishment of this war. Metternich was an Austrian diplomat who was instrumental in protecting Austria from Napoleon's occupation. As a result of the conquest, Prussia gained this territory, most notably the Rhine, and Austria gained this territory initially to the Austrian Empire. Importantly, the German Confederation was formed. The president was also the Emperor of Austria, and these borders were
And this is the actual Germany slowly taking shape.
totally not the Holy Roman Empire. German confederations quite a loose alliance, as such was seen as quite weak in comparison to other powers such as France and Russia. This led to some political unification, which would help protect the smaller German states and prevent from being controlled. Russia was keen on the idea of Germany, with it being the largest German state would be in charge. In 1819, Russia bought its Solomon, which was a custom and trading union, sorts of aid. This was not just an economic. Austria was excluded from joining, but there was no economic counterbalance of Russia. By 1848, the Solomon would like this. Throughout the early 19th century, the liberal ideas were spreading throughout the continent. The new middle class was political representation of freedom of speech. In Austria, these calls for reform were repressed by censorship and prosecution. The price for reform was grown in 1840 and riots broke out across the German Confederation in Austria. In Austria, the reforms were short-lived, but eventually this was resigned. Right, political expressed by British government Prussia by cannons, so the king of Prussia, Frederick Wilhelm IV, begrudgingly agreed to the establishment of a parliament device. The liberal faction involved in the right believed that the best way to secure this reform was by a unified Germany. As such, liberals across the German Confederation moved the Frankfurt Parliament and to unify Germany declared Frederick Wilhelm IV his emperor. He said no, by late 1849, the reform most of the reforms implemented were quickly abandoned. The idea of a unified German system. There were two proposals for a unified German state: blind Deutschland, which means small Germany, and gross Deutschland.
And did I say German, small Germany? This is, and they have a greater Germany. They are Land to Schland. That's what in German language is. He knows German better. Make a try.
For example, in Austria, the Hungarians were in 1848. This was prevented Austrians were opposed to a unified Germany, which they were strong. Austria was the only opponent in France and Russia were quite young. Austria was able to allow Russian pressure to persuade the France. Still, Russia was not Russian support for Austria ended in 1854 when Austria refused to help Russia by England risk country. Years later, France and Sardinia.
Yeah, that's Sardinia, that is of Italy.
Whilst Austria was weakening, Russia found itself strength. Russia was rapidly industrialized and access to a great natural resources such as coal was a major producer of iron. The sole right also allowed Russia to export its products to strength. So in 1861, Russia built up Russia succeeded by the product they had left the aforementioned great. So next year, he appointed a man called Otto Bismarck, the minister president of Russia. Bismarck was a very big state, only opposed the liberal forces of Russia. So unified all
Just pause it this area. So till now the Ottoman Bismarck did not jump into the sea. Now is the coming of the Ottoman Bismarck. And he has the big dream of unifying. So there are several attempts made, but due to some internal wars, then we had Austria, the powerful kingdom, which is time and again blocking which unification? German unification. Correct. Ottoman Bismarck becoming the chief minister. Now he tries to identify German and the German provinces. So now the role of the continue. Bismarck's goal.
First, were in 1864, Denmark was sent by Cbse of Federation and in retaliation for Austria so Russia received Schleswig and Austria received Poland. Austria was territory. So Australia territory Bismarck knew that this arrangement would lead to war with Austria, so to make sure that the other European nations stayed out. He made a defensive act with the new unified Italy on the condition that he would make the need for Austria. He was also supporting the French and Russian ambitions. Eventually, Austria tried to resolve the issues. Bismarck would be crucial to the identity. Russian troops were also in June 1866 when the German Federation and Austria war broke out shortly after. Fortunately for Russia, the Italians were aligned with Austrian border and declared war on the States. Russia quickly defeated Austria's northern ally, and Austria crossed the border with the reason is Russian troops were able to do time of life, believing the Austrians failed to defend the Italians, but the losses against Russia then took strength. In the end,
So So this is after the defeat of Austria by Prussia. The army of the Prussia was having superior guns. That's what they said, as compared to the Austria. So once Austria's influence was completely cut off, now the final picture is slowly coming up. Unification of which country? Germany. Under whose leadership it was? Ottoman Bismarck. He was a person who was marshalling the resources very carefully. Austria was one strong country which was trying to block the unification time and again because they had their own evil interest inside the German Confederation.
The later war in France, the French Emperor Napoleon had wanted to prevent the unification of the remaining German states, so he declared war of Russia. Ulta hota hai.
But क्या है? Napoleon had his own dream.
No, Napoleon III.
अच्छा, Napoleon. So what we are trying to bring in, there were the confederation which were German. It was very difficult to identify. अभी जैसे मैं बोलता हूँ Indians है, but कुछ अफगानिस्तान में है, कुछ पाकिस्तान में है, कुछ किर्गिस्तान में या किर्गिस्तान करके जगह है, किर्गिस्तान, something like that. अभी इंडिया को कैसे लेकर आए? At least we one good thing from north to south, east to west, we were there. But some were calling Dravidian, some were calling, Aryans. So at least identify करना easy हुआ. Here the problem is the identification of German. Just leave. We will stop it for a while, then we will play it again. Because one of my friends is saying, "Sir, इतना फटाफट बोल रहा मुझे तो कुछ भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा." Just stop. And put it into this. And switch on the lights. Why I'm saying this? Because these are hard to be said in such a manner so that you guys understand in a simple way. So just read what is German unification, let all be switched off. And then tell me. Then I'm quickly jumping into Italian because Italian and German unification goes hand in hand, more or less, same at the time period. Let's get into Italian. Now you can read. What's your name, please? Now he's going to that Italian unified. Let's see.
Italy too had a long history of political fragmentation. Italians were scattered over several dynastic states as well as the
Underline that, several dynastic. There only you can write 7 confederation. And only one was ruled by Italian fellow. What was that? Sardinia Piedmont. Sorry, Italian prince.
As well as the multinational Habsburg Empire. During the middle of the 19th
It is
century,
Habsburg Empire.
Habsburg, During the middle of the 19th century, Italy was divided into 7 states.
Underline 7 states. Only one.
Sardinia Piedmont was ruled by an Italian princely house.
It's a house, it's a dynasty which is ruling it. What is good thing about Sardinia Piedmont? Whenever the Italian unification talks will come, he will support. How about other 6? They will not. They will not. Why? Because one of the provinces will be snatched from them. And did you see that map, that green color Italian country? Normally say it appears like a lady's shoe. The big kind. So that is present Italy.
The north was under Austrian Habsburgs. The center was ruled by the Pope and the southern region.
ये simple way में याद रखने का. Look at that, which line I also. The north was under, circle that word north and put into bracket Austrian Habsburg. The central, they have written center, you make it central. And put who into bracket? Pope. And southern, underline Bourbon king. So entire Italy का वो लोग ने bifurcation दिया है. So north who was ruling? Austrian. Central, the Pope. Pope means who? The church. And the southern state? The Bourbon kings. So let's see. Next point.
Even the Italian language had not acquired one common form and still had many.
Underline. That's another added trouble to Italian. I'm saying Italia, that's the actual people they call it is Italia. Like in Maharashtra, I want to unite all the Marathi speaking people, but Marathi is only one language. There are so many dialects. Konkani, I don't know, whatever, I don't know. But how to unite that? He speaks Marathi, but Marathi ka different version. So if the language was common, it's so easy. All Marathi speaking people come on, they'll all come. But here, Italian did not have that also. So let us see how they are uniting.
Giuseppe Mazzini. During the 1830s, Giuseppe Mazzini had sought to put together a coherent program.
Underline the word coherent, you write elaborate. So like their Ottoman Bismarck, we have a Mazzini here. Mazzini is a secret underground worker, but he is doing his level best.
Coherent program for a unitary Italian republic.
Correct. Next.
He had also formed a secret society called Young Italy for the dissemination of his.
Did we do this already? One more association.
Young Europe.
Young Europe. Can we put Young Europe here?
No.
Why? Because we are studying the which unification? Italian. Okay, carry on.
The failure of revolutionary uprisings both in 1831 and 1848 by Mazzini and Garibaldi meant that the mantle now fell on Sardinia, Piedmont.
Underline the word mantle. What is the word mantle? The main force, main pressure. अबे जैसे हम लोग को बोलता ना मशाल में तेरे हाथ में दे रहा हूँ आप बोलेगे extinguish लेके उसको पहले बुझा उसको मतलब people started arousing where is our Italy so the main pressure is in the hands of whom the Sardinia. Correct. Let's proceed.
Under its ruler, King Victor Emmanuel.
Put his name into bracket or circle it. It is King Victor Emmanuel II.
Yes. To unify the Italian states through war. In the eyes of the ruling elites of this region, a unified Italy offered them the possibility of economic development and political governance.
Underline that word unified Italy. Put a question mark. If anybody asks you why they needed an Italian unification. It is economic development and political dominance. Like yesterday, Modi was saying, why do you want to make India more powerful? Not within Asia, but within Europe. This is the first time slowly India is making trading partners, not only America and Russia, but Europe. And Europe में एक बार German को अपने हाथ में रखा. मतलब German अगर अच्छा friendly हो गया, other European states are not as good as German, but we need it. Correct? Let's proceed. So now we have a Count Camillo Dikova, the person who is again the architect of this country, new country. Carry on.
Chief Minister Cavo, who led the movement to unify the regions of Italy, was neither a revolutionary nor a democrat.
Why then? Who was he?
Like
Carry on. I'm just.
Like many other wealthy and educated members of the Italian elite, he spoke French much better than he did Italian.
Underline. ये added advantage था. Now let me put it while usually reading. When this person wants the support of the French government to defeat the strong which forces, the Austrian forces, although he was an Italian, but he had the good command over which language?
French.
So could he not convince the French person to give a support? He got it. And then we have this Mazzini and then followed by Garibaldi. Garibaldi generally. He will bring the supports of the local Protestants, local peasants. So they combinedly fought against the Austrian forces and made them to flee away from the Italian provinces.
Language plays a big role.
Why not?
अगर तुम मेरे से मराठी में बात करो,
देखो, he is asking very sweetly. He is the language. Language is one factor which unites. अभी, for example, now only in between the gap I was watching, KGF 2 का कुछ team इधर आया था क्या? Seawoods में, Grand Central में. And slowly now there is a buzz in Hindi cinema. Now South Indian cinema stars and South Indian cinemas are taking over the Hindi cinema.
Yes.
And sorry to say, I feel it is better than Salman, Shah Rukh and other. उनसे तो 100 गुना better ही है. क्यों 100 गुना बेटर है? इनका एक्टिंग अलग, इनका लाइफ अलग और इनका लाइफस्टाइल अलग, और उसमें से हमारे जवान बच्चे उनको फॉलो भी करते हैं. एंड शाहरुख का जो पिल्ला, सॉरी टू से वो पता नहीं अपने आप को रॉयल प्रिंसेस समझता है ना, वॉट एवर इट इज. अब बेचारा बोलता है कि नहीं मैं जिंदगी भर नमाज करूंगा, ये करूंगा. क्यों? इसके पहले तू नहीं करता था क्या? Look at the royalty of that boy. You don't know there was a WWE wrestler. He is from India only. खली करके एक बड़ा लंबा चौड़ा. He came to India by flying from America to Bombay. शाहरुख ने क्या किया? उस बंदे को अपना बड़ा गाड़ी में, क्योंकि that fellow doesn't fit in his normal car. उसको लेकर आके 3 दिन उसके घर में मन्नत में रखा भाई साहब, मन्नत और whatever this is बंगला. Just because that boy likes him. भैया तू इतना अमीर है ना? Look at the money that he has earned from Bombay. And sorry to use that word, half of the business is in Dubai.
Yes.
And पता नहीं वो पैसा किसका लगा रहा है और क्यों लगा रहा है वो मैं नहीं बोलूंगा. DC कंपनी जिसका भी लगा रहा है. I heard one of my very good friend is in Dubai. He says एक big island इस भैया के नाम पे है. एक पूरा आइलैंड ही खरीदा है SR के. अभी सलमान के बारे में तो मुझे वैसे भी नहीं बोलना. I don't like that character at all. Correct है? So at least you look at South Indian stars. I have heard per day the side role fellow they get only 500 rupees per day. बोलते इतना ईमानदारी से लोग काम करते हैं. इधर ये गोविंदा रहने दो या बाकी एक्टर बोलते एक तो पहले तो लोग सेट में आते नहीं, आएंगे तो भी अपना ड्रामा अलग, और ऊपर से बेचारा डायरेक्टर और प्रोड्यूसर पैसा डाल के उनके पीछे पीछे कुत्ते की तरह भागता. So now there is a buzz going on slowly. There should be only one cinema all over India. Forget about Bollywood, Tollywood, Bollywood. ये क्या है नाटक है ना? Now I haven't seen neither that RRR movie nor this one. I intend to see also. But then many people say it's quite okay sir, decent. देख सकता है. मतलब क्या हो गया? इतना बड़ा प्रोड्यूसर, इतना बड़ा इन्वेस्टर, हाँ यूनिफिकेशन. एटलीस्ट हमारा बच्चा को उस बंदे को स्टार नहीं बनाने का जो, सॉरी टू से, ही इज अ प्रोफेशनल ड्रिंकर ऑफ ऑल टाइप्स, है ना. जब वो बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए भी पनवेल में आया, उधर भी वो भाई साहब ने हंगामा ही किया और कुछ नहीं किया. तो बोलते हैं एक दो ऑटो वाले से पकड़ के उसका ऑटो लेके ये चला रहा था. अभी जरूरत क्या है तुझे ऑटो चलाने के लिए? I have read some economic times, उसका प्रॉपर्टी वर्थ 2000 crores का भाई साहब ने कहा तो रखा है, पर किसके लिए रखा है? ना तेरा आगे कोई पीछे, है ना. जो भी नया लेडी को एंट्री करता है पहला उसका ही जागीर बनती है वो लेडी, फिर चाहे तो किसी से भी शादी कर ले. वो कौन है वो जो अभी एक लड़की से शादी किया, निष्फल
सलमान खान की शादी?
नहीं दैट फेलो उरी का जो मेन एक्टर है ना, हाँ उसका जो, all that ladies are introduced by this fellow only. And even that Vivek Oberoi, उसका पूरा career just because of that Ash and Salman.
Ash को
जाने जाके हुआ और की. Why I'm saying all this, because how much of money is playing into the And if you watch this IPL, yesterday only I was telling another branch, IPL and ISRO. अब बोलेगा ISRO का IPL को क्यों जोड़ रहा है? One rocket of India goes to space hardly 200 crores. सस्ता. IPL का only advertisement is worth 2,000 crores.
और कुछ नहीं होता IPL.
बहुत कुछ है. वो you don't. Correct.
ये सही बात
हर बॉल के बाद तो ऐड है.
So that's why next time you sitting and wasting your time. मैं भी देखता ऐसे भी कि नहीं, but कभी-कभी देखता है ऐसे. मतलब हमारे साइंटिस्ट 1/10 पैसे में अपना रॉकेट बनाते हैं और ये सॉरी टू यूज दैट वर्ड इधर जा रहा है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. अरे उसका आधा पैसा तो दो हमको इसरो को. दे विल नॉट गिव ऑल लाइमलाइट.
It's not by government of India, टाटा का है.
जो भी है. चलिए लेट्स प्रोसीड. सो वी हैव अ डिसेंट फेलो इन आवर कंट्री. कैरी ऑन.
Through a tactful diplomat's alliance with France, engineered by Kabul, Sardinia played more.
Underline very important point. Sardinia succeeded in defeating Austrian forces circled that year with the help of whom? Count Camillo de Coa, and got the support of which army?
France.
One of the French army. पूरा French army वो नहीं देगा, but कुछ तो एक टुकड़ा मिला. And that is enough for whom? Prussia to defeat whom? Austria. हाँ.
Apart from the regular troops, a large number of
armed volunteers under the leadership of Garibaldi. Now comes a person. Somebody told me, sir, उसने नाम भी एक रखा है. वो उनका family affair है. वो हमको मालूम नहीं. But you have to remember, Garibaldi and Mazzini, two different persons. Correct? Garibaldi was no doubt a big follower of Mazzini. We don't know. अभी जब तक record नहीं तो मैं कुछ नहीं बोल सकता. चलिए.
In 1860, they marched into South Italy at
Underline Kingdom of Two Sicilies.
And succeeded in winning the support of local.
देखो now they are expanding and ये Sicilies किसके हाथ में था? Spain के हाथ में था. तो इटली ने वो भी छीना. Correct? हाँ.
In order to drive out the Spanish rulers. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed the king of.
Underline this. पहले बार अभी इटाली का कोई independent king आ रहा. Victor Emmanuel II or second. Carry on.
However, much of the Italian population, among whom rates of illiteracy were very high, remained blissfully unaware of the liberal nationalist ideology.
How do you explain this point? इतना कुछ चल रहा है इटली में. Why the common people were unaware? They were illiterate, and they don't know what's happening. What the elite might have done, they might have had a meeting. They might have discussed. देखो before Gandhi ji stepped into Indian freedom struggle, हमारा Indian freedom struggle भी ऐसे ही था. ये मोतीलाल नेहरू और बड़ा बड़ा बिजनेसमैन जाके INC में बैठने का डिस्कस करने का. वेरी गुड. चाय हो गया, चलो कल मिलते हैं. एंड कुछ लोग जाके शायद गवर्नर जनरल के सामने कुछ धरना मीटिंग करेंगे. हो गया. वेरी गुड. अच्छा लगा. वेरी गुड. टुमारो विल मीट. अरे भैया तुम इंडिया के लिए लड़ रहा है या अपना नाम के लिए लड़ रहा है? When Mahatma Gandhi came from Africa, he made Indian movement as a mass movement. You know what is mass movement?
Yes.
People from every section, every community started discussing. चाय वाला के दुकान में, सलून का दुकान में, सब जगह ये freedom के बारे में बात चल रहा था. So this is the importance of Mahatma Gandhi in India. However, I can disclose many other things what Mahatma Gandhi has did. वो शायद आपने भी जाना है. I leave that things apart, but he has made Indian movement as the greatest. How many person inspired by Gandhi? Nelson Mandela, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, and even many American presidents were a big devotee of Mahatma Gandhi. Why you go to American? Many Britishers were the great bhakt of Mahatma Gandhi. बट क्या करें, उनको लंदन ने भेजा जहाज, महात्मा गांधी के सर पे मूंगफल तो आया, बट इनडायरेक्टली वो बोलता था आई एम अ बिग फॉलोवर ऑफ यू. बट क्या करें ना, आई एम वर्किंग फॉर ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट. सो दिस वाज द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ दिस फेलो ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, महात्मा गांधी. ओके, चलिए.
In the peasant masses who had supported Garibaldi in southern Italy had never heard of Italian.
Underline that word. देखो, this is I by mistakenly pronounced, but this is what they have heard. Italia. उनका मदरलैंड था. Since majority were illiterate, they don't know what is happening. All this, and look at the other word. They believe that La Thaila
was Victor Emmanuel's wife.
Common people के लगता था ये कोई वाइफ का नाम है, क्योंकि उनका किंग तो विक्टर है ना. उनको लगा शायद ये लोग इटालिया ला थाइला चिल्ला रहा, मतलब ये कोई वाइफ के लिए लोग बड़ा रेवोल्यूशन कर रहा है. हाँ उसको समझा common people were illiterate हाँ they wanted Italia to be free unified तो common people को लगता था ये एमानुअल का वाइफ के बारे में लोग चिल्ला रहे हाँ so उतना illiteracy और उतना ignorance था Ena put the question in your notebook quick guys
And short note on Jesus and
no need explain the role of Count Camillo di Cova. Explain the role of Count Camillo di Cova. Explain the role of Count Camillo di Cova in Italian unification. Explain the role of Count Camillo di Cova in Italian unification. हाँ तो ऐसा करना C डालना और शाम को जाके CCD में ढूंढेगा कौन है अरे it's there in the right in एक बार तो उसका नाम पूरा लिखा ना मैं देख ही रहा है पूरा लिखा काउंट कैमिलो लिखा हुआ और सेम क्वेश्चन explain the stages of Italian unification explain different stages of Italian unification देखो I tried my level best I hopefully you are also big part in it both German and Italian very clear in your mind very clear yes. He has some extra knowledge I think he watched many history channels I really appreciate him to be openly saying in front of everyone nothing shy he has got some cutting edge points which even I do not know because the channel which he watches I've never heard of it which I do not have the time to watch and good whatever he is watching it but he is interested into it I really appreciate it good one okay God bless you now let us get into Great Britain so two countries we have done German and Italian we are getting into Great Britain abhi ye short mein samjhata hu anyway you'll be reading but not all the points look here so we have Britain today we call Britain as UK correct so we have one is England no doubt then second is Scotland or we say Scottish people and third is Ireland now many historians even today the story of Great Britain is nothing great आप लोग ऐसे क्या फिर काय को Great Britain बोलते because the culture the ethnic or the language of these two provinces which were forcefully incorporated into Britain is no match at all अभी देखो the story of Italy we love it all the Italian speaking German that also German speaking
इनमें तो दोनों ही अलग भाषा
कुछ भी नहीं है no language no culture nothing but the only thing the economic poverty of these two nations
now also all
or the Great Britain wants to show off देखो हम कितना बड़ा है so it might be the Queen who might have masterminded these two and I think in the year I'm not exactly sure 2009 and 10 Scotland had passed a resolution that we will separate from England and England Queen ने बहुत sweetly बोला please but not a single pound will come to your country from London उन्होंने बोला no we were just joking because without the England's help the Scotland cannot survive one or two of my distant friends are they will say it's just big country but nothing prosperity पूरा London से ही पैसा जाता होता Scottish you know that liquor हाँ Scotland Scotch वाला हाँ वो थोड़ा अंदर रहता है he has done some studies and settled there so now I'm saying Ireland is far better than Scotland we have Northern and Southern Ireland Southern Ireland I feel that is an independent state but Northern Ireland still is with the UK so if I say UK we have England Wales करके एक छोटा सा province आता है वो भी इसी के साथ ही है and then we have Scotland people never happy with the rule of the British but क्या करें
now also British
economic prosperity नहीं है directly or indirectly they are dependent and many people the culture the language religion does not match with England so that's why पहला line जो पढ़ेगा ना the story of Great Britain is no more strange case of Great Britain देखो unless this Great Britain का unification we are not least bothered but क्या करें part of the syllabus got it shall I ask him to read नहीं समझा
सर इंटरेस्ट नहीं
किस बात के लिए बोल दिया तो भैया ये नहीं पढ़ेगा अरे क्वेश्चन आएगा तो फिर क्या नॉट इंटरेस्टेड थोड़ी लिखेगा मैडम विल गिव इट अ टाइम
nationality I have said
हाँ चलिए
right also about Great
read Great Britain
the strange case of Britain should I read the question
no need जितना कम रीड करेगा उतना बेटर.
The model of the nation or the nation state, some scholars have argued, is great. In Britain, the formation of the nation state was not the result of a sudden upheaval or revolution.
Underline. Why it is not a sudden, as it were Germany, as it were Italy. Great Britain में ऐसा कोई sudden upheaval नहीं हुआ कि लंदन लोगों ने बोला हम इन भाई बंधु को हेल्प करना चाहते हैं. ऐसा कोई भाई बंधु नहीं था उन लोग. ठीक है? हाँ. Carry on.
It was the result of a long drawn out process. There was no British nation prior to the 18th century.
Underline. ये क्वीन को शायद बहुत बड़ा ड्रीम था. There is no nation called Britain. And great क्यों लगाया? Because queen was ruling. शायद आगे जाके हम भी अपने आप को बोलेंगे Great Indian Nation. If we become the नहीं चाहिए. Great Indian नहीं चाहिए. हाँ, he is happy with that Indian only. In fact, once I think, I don't know, you might not be knowing, BJP was passing the resolution that India was the name given by the British fellows.
Yes.
We were Bharat only.
Yes.
Let us take the name as Bharat. Suddenly Congress will chup बैठा है. I also feel कि होना चाहिए, but it is all in the hands of the politicians. नहीं, वो तो cheap politics है. But reality, we are the Bharat descendant only. Bharat Varsha. We are. तो ये तो इन लोगों ने ब्रिटिश ने नाम दिया इंडिया. Correct. चलिए.
The primary identities of the people who inhabited the British Isles were the ethnic ones, such as English, Welsh, Scot or Irish.
देखो, Welsh is the province which is called Wales. अभी Wales बना दिया लोगों ने. And उधर का community को Welsh बोला जाता था. ठीक है? Go ahead.
Sir, Isles.
Welsh speak Dutch.
Bit of English and all cocktail. I don't know exactly what is their mother tongue. Language. मुंबई में हिंदी जो बोलता है यूपी हिंदी का बहुत डिफरेंस है. It's like that. The island, the British big empire which was to be formed. ये पूरा ethnic people को मिला के उन्होंने British kingdom बनाया. Great Britain बनाया.
All of these ethnic groups had their own cultural and political
circle this. Their own cultural and political traditions. So can we say it is unified is a good one? It's a wrong one. क्योंकि आप दूसरा कल्चर को लेके कैसा बनाए? चलिए, let's proceed.
But as the English nation steadily grew in wealth due to industrialization and colonies, importance and power, it was able to extend its influence over the nation of the islands.
देखो उसीलिए isles बोलते हैं ना, isles. इतना सारा islands को उसने मिला है. Okay, now we have a small territory. I don't know, you might have heard Gibraltar and Malta. वो भी ब्रिटिश के हाथ में था एक टाइम पे. बहुत स्मॉल आइलैंड है जिब्राल्टर एंड माल्टा. जिब्राल्टर इज लिटिल बिट ऑफ मोमेडन हो गया, बट माल्टा अभी भी इनडायरेक्टली ब्रिटेन के हाथ में ही है. वेरी स्मॉल आइलैंड. नहीं, उसको तो गरीब की तरह इन लोग छोड़ के रखा है, बट जब चाहिए वो लोग अंदर ले लेगा. जिब्राल्टर एंड माल्टा. माल्टा में है इंडियन साथ है. यू डोंट नो, ये सलमान का उधर भी फालतू फैंस लोग पड़ा. जिब्राल्टर.
The English Parliament, which had seized power from the monarchy in 1688 at the end of a protracted conflict, was the instrument through which a nation-state with England and its center came to be formed.
Let's start with Scotland. Now they are going to tell the stories. Hey, he might be tired. Anyone? You start with. Let them also be a part of the unification.
The Act of Union between England and Scotland that resulted in the formation of the United Kingdom.
Underline that. देखो पहले बार अभी इंग्लैंड का नाम यूनाइटेड किंगडम आ रहा है, because they united themselves with whom? स्कॉटलैंड. मतलब उनको यूनिफिकेशन चाहिए ही नहीं भैया तुमको आना ही पड़ेगा. हम लोग ने यूके बना लिया. हाँ, नाम और जगह के लिए. और बोल भी दिया कि ये यूनाइटेड किंगडम भी है. करेक्ट. चलिए और भी कॉमेडी आएगा.
United Kingdom of Great Britain meant in effect that England was able to impose its influence on Scotland. The British Parliament was henceforth dominated by its English.
Underline British Parliament. अगर तुझे स्कॉटलैंड को इतना इंपॉर्टेंस देना था, ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट में किधर है स्कॉटिश? नो स्कॉटिश इज देयर, है ना. अगर मैं बोलूंगा कि दिस पार्ट इज माय ओन किंगडम, गिव देम 1 or 2 सीट्स, लोग ने आज तक नहीं दिए. नहीं, जरूरत नहीं. एंड दे आर आल्सो लीस्ट बॉथर्ड.
The growth of a British identity meant that Scotland's distinctive culture and political institutions were systematically suppressed.
अंडरलाइन मतलब एक साथ मैं तुमको नीचा नहीं दिखा रहा हूँ सिस्टमेटिकली. आज बोलेगा तेरा मुंह पसंद नहीं आया, बोले क्यों नहीं आया पसंद. कल बोलेगा तेरा चाल पसंद नहीं मुझे, तीसरा दिन बोले तेरा पूरा कैरेक्टर ही पसंद नहीं आया. फिर आप कैसा पूछेगा सर एक एमपी सीट तो हमको दो.
तो सर जाने तो दो
नहीं जाने देगा. क्यों जाने देगा? यू आर अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर मैप. मैप छोड़ के किधर भाग रहा तू? कैरी ऑन.
The Catholic clans that inhabited the Scottish Highlands suffered terrible repression whenever they attempted to assert their independence.
Underline terrible repression. Which community of Christians are ruling? Catholics. मतलब जब भी कैथोलिक्स ने ब्रिटिश के खिलाफ कुछ आवाज उठाया, they got terrible fighting or terrible repression from whom? Scotland. जैसे आप लोग ये लोग पूछ रहा है, स्कॉटलैंड बेचारा थक गया रहेगा यार, हमको मरने भी नहीं छोड़ रहे, जीने भी नहीं छोड़ रहे. चलो जैसा भी हो मैप में तो है, रहने दो अंदर, है ना.
The Scottish Highlanders were forbidden to speak their Gaelic language or wear their national dress, and large number were forcibly driven out of their homeland.
मतलब देर मदर टंग को भी लोग ने बैन कर दिया, एंड उनका नेशनल कॉस्ट्यूम है उसको भी बैन कर दिया. नहीं जस्ट फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. नहीं बट क्या करें ना, दे हैव देयर ओन मजबूरी. वी डू नॉट नो व्हाट इज दैट मजबूरी. कैरी ऑन.
Ireland. Ireland suffered a similar fate. It was a country deeply divided between Catholics and Protestants.
Underline this community, Catholics and Protestant. ये पूरा रीड करने से पहले ही मैं स्टोरी शॉर्ट में सुना देता हूँ. It is the Ireland people of Protestant community. Correct? Now I say Ireland, the third group. We have the both Protestant and the Catholics, and Catholics were in major numbers here. Correct? And who were putting a strong resistance to which group? Protestant. When the British people came to know, they started supporting the Protestants. Why? So that the Protestant can be winning whom? Catholic. अगर Protestant को अगर England का support मिला, तो what they will do? Sir, let us be a part of your country, sir. अगर Catholic को support करेगा, वो support मांगेगा? No. We are in majority. We don't want your support. So smartly Britishers have done this game also. Minority के support किया, बोला you don't worry. कैथोलिक कौन है तुमको आयरलैंड से भगाने वाला? बोले हाँ सर कौन है? हम लोग हैं ना आपके पीछे. Let's read ahead.
The English helped the Protestants of Ireland to establish their dominance over largely Catholic countries. Catholic revolts against British dominance was suppressed. After a failed revolt led by the Volpate Tone and its United Irishmen, Ireland was forcibly incorporated.
Underline उसको भी वो लोग ने forcibly किया. 1801.
Into the United Kingdom in 1801. A new British nation was forged through the propagation of a dominant English culture.
Underline forced propagation, popularity किया वो लोग ने.
Symbols of the New Britain, the British flag.
Union Jack. हाँ. Everybody knows Union Jack ना? Because हमारे पिक्चर में अभी भी वही दिखता है. इंडिया के पहले यही कर रहा था. Union Jack. And national anthem. Look at that national anthem. God save our noble king. Man, that time Queen was young, I think. Then English language, the were actively promoted. मतलब ये तीनों country में, Scotland में, Ireland में, Welsh में, they were forced to sing the song which the English people will sing. अरे तू इंग्लैंड के लिए गा रहा है, it is okay. Why should I sing for Scotland?
Well, Scotland people will have to play back. Right?
No, they were also. वो for a few months they were allowed. अगर तेरा कल्चर रहेगा तो ग्रेट ब्रिटेन का कल्चर में तू प्ले नहीं करने का. Bagpiper. Okay, just read. Give me 1 minute and then run through and tell me. Then we have this small paragraph. Yeah, lecture comes to an end by 5:45. 6 only. And then we have good time. I can make you to read and relax. चलिए, Great Britain. Any more doubts? And check any questions you have for Great Britain. Nothing to write. Just check.
Unification, forced unification of Great Britain.
Where is that question coming? Page number 22. Explain the process of nation building in Britain. And then
Which question?
13. How was the history of nationalism? Very important. Nationalism in Britain, unlike the rest of the Europe. Page number 2. अच्छा ये मेरा ना old book है. इधर ही देखो. Last. First question is question number 12. Process of nation building in Britain. How was the history of nationalism in Britain, unlike the rest of the Europe? अभी नहीं, for your assignment.
who are Marianne and Germania and what was the important in Israel?
वो सब अभी बाकी है नहीं क्या? That is the pictures based on which. Now come to that visualizing the nation. अभी now we are almost close of the chapter, but और भी तो एक दो paragraph मैंने पीछे छोड़ा है. Now when we say today India is a nation, but remember who might be the first person who might have drawn the picture of a lady wearing all the jewelry and saying this is Mother India. So that is how every European nation is identifying. Abhi German, they have a Germania. So it is called as allegory. Every nation started visualizing their nation in the form of a female figurine.
But why female?
That's what I want to say. Female figurine doesn't have any masculine or female gender. Just for giving importance that we are representing this, they have given. That doesn't mean कि पूरा ladies को लोग ने बहुत सारा preference दिया, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था. In fact, French people gave the voting rights to the French ladies 1 year before India's independence. जबकि उनका independence हुआ था 1789 में और 1946 में women of French people can vote. फिर लोग ने क्यों ऐसा सब किया? Just for a resemblance, just for your appearance, just for your memory. Correct. So हर एक country में नेशन को विजुअलाइज करने के लिए उन्होंने किसी ने बोला जर्मनिया, किसी ने बोला लिबर्टी है, किसी ने बोला भारत माता. मैं इंडिया को भी यूरोप में घुसा रहा हूँ जो नहीं है. करेक्ट. सो आई थिंक आसिफ इकबाल और वन इकबाल पेंटर हु हैज मेड द फर्स्ट पेंटिंग ऑफ इंडिया सेइंग शी इज आवर मदरलैंड. क्योंकि आज भी फादरलैंड बहुत कम है एक्सेप्ट दैट लीशियन एंड लापात्रे इन फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन. करेक्ट. वरना हर कंट्री को हम लोग आज भी शी ही बोलते हैं. And there are various symbols. Now also the symbol of a lady having a black ribbon and having a beam balance. ये सब उसी टाइम पर जनरेट हुआ. But India ने उसको रख लिया mother goddess of justice. समझ में आ रहा है? So that is that paragraph visualizing the nation. Let's quickly run through that. क्या नहीं किया? इंडियन ने भी किया है ना. फिर ये जस्टिस के पीछे वो न्याय लेडी कौन है? और ये भारत माता का पेंटिंग भी शायद उधर से ही लोग ने बोले रहेगा हम भी एक लेडी को पेंट करेंगे. हाँ भारत माता समथिंग लाइक दैट. भारत पिता किधर है? माता ही तो पिता भी तो रहना चाहिए. हाँ यू स्टार्ट रीडिंग फ्रॉम दिस लाइन. यू ओनली फीमेल. हाँ ये लेट मी रीड. यू वांट टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ अंदर का हिस्ट्री जान के. ही इज रीडिंग फ्रॉम द थर्ड पॉइंट ऑफ विजुअलाइजिंग द नेशन.
The female form that was chosen to personify the nation did not stand for any particular woman in real life.
Underline that. No real life woman.
Rather, it sought to give the abstract idea of the nation.
Underline that word. Abstract idea to a concrete. अभी आप बोलेगा भारत माता कौन है? मैंने एक लेडी को बना लिया. ये लो यही भारत माता. Happy? हाँ. अगर आप पूछेगा ये लेडी किधर है? वो किधर है? We don't. But एक लेडी का फिगर दिया तो we are giving so much respect to the lady. बस.
That is, the female figure became an allegory of the nation.
Allegory मतलब एक बड़ा symbol. Correct? हाँ.
During the French Revolution, artists used the female allegory to portray ideas such as liberty, justice.
हाँ, put into bracket. Next.
These ideals were represented through specific objects or symbols. The attributes of liberty are the red cap or the broken chain, while justice is generally a blindfolded woman carrying a pair of wings.
ये इंडिया में नहीं लिया हम लोग ने. I think ये 9th standard का टेक्स्ट बुक अभी भी आपके पास रहेगा तो एक बड़ा पेज है. देखा नहीं? Broken chain, snake biting its own tail. वो सब यही है. Eternity. Good. He remembers all that. चलिए quick.
Similar female allegories were invented by artists in the 19th century to represent the nation. In France, she was Christian Marianne, a popular Christian name which underlined the idea of people's nation. Her characteristics were drawn from those of liberty and the republic. The red cap, the tricolor, the cockade. Statues of Marianne were erected in public squares to remind the public of the national symbol of unity and to persuade.
Underline, identify it. That is what visualizing the nation. Correct? Next. क्यों रहने देना उसको पढ़ने दे. What are you disturbing? Similarly,
statues of Marianne were erected in public squares to remind the public of the national symbol of unity and to persuade them to identify with it. Marianne images were marked on coins and stamps. Similarly, Germania became the allegory of the
Underline
German nation.
Germania. We have two pictures. She's having
The
big
allegory
sword.
of victory.
We don't.
Like,
रहेगा ऐसा
क्या है
कैसे?
पूछ रहा हूँ?
नहीं, you have to identify or Google it. बाद में करेंगे बाद में. अभी ये chapter खत्म करना है. Suddenly you will find out the allegory of Zimbabwe. तो मैं कहाँ से लेकर आया?
in visual representations, Germania wears a crown of oak leaves as a German.
Underline oak leaves. Oak leaves is for heroism, and she's having a sword also. I think your textbook रहेगा तो कोई बताना मैं अभी
Olive leaves are for peace.
Olive leaves are
Peace.
peace.
I know.
Wait.
Greek.
And अगर बोलता है कि if you don't want peace, then I have a sword in my hand. Let's चलो देख लेते हैं one by one. Let me show. Never forget this picture. Majority questions will be Frederick Sorio. The next picture that you have to remember.
Topic for a chapter.
And even this picture, planting tree of the liberty in Germany. I think I told a very common incident, but don't put it in your exam. It's like हमारा इंडिया का बोलता है कि सर ये तो दही हांडी है, but वो जर्मनी में क्या है? But they are just showing कि हम लोग कैसे unitily they are fighting. And this is that courier Rhineland losses when that there is a fight going on. A courier fellow is carrying some messages. Okay, ये सब नीचे जो लिखा है ना, एग्जाम में ऐसे ही पिक्चर्स देंगे. You have to identify who was the person, why was he doing, and then Mariana का दिखा देता. Mariana, this is also next popular painting. Conservatism में आया. And why their mouths are closed and what they are referring to and what is that in label. Yeah, I think UT में आ जाएगा when you are appearing for the exam. So this is Giuseppe Mazzini. He is writing in that one in Bonn. Isn't it? कौन कर रहा है और दूसरे से पूछ रहा है. And then this I haven't ever seen in any of the word test up till it. So I'm not discussing. Wait, I want to give the most important ones. And this is at Frankfurt Parliament, which I'll be doing it right now. Frankfurt Parliament, a failure one. Why it was failed, that also we will do. And then generally there are one. This is Italy, before and after. The shoes, ladies' shoe. Correct? अभी इसमें उन लोग ने पूरा provinces बताया. ये क्या है? ये जो European ladies पहनता, हमारा जो इंडिया जीतू सा शू वो नहीं है. Have you seen this British ladies? They wear a long, यहाँ तक वो पहनते हैं.
अच्छा,
वैसा.
Stocking.
अरे हाँ, अभी अरे वो इधर से.
I don't know whatever you guys call.
ऐसा दिख रहा है.
ये
इधर से
ऐसा.
ऐसा.
अरे हाँ.
क्या बोलता है? I don't know.
ऐसा उसको diagonally देख.
सब तरह से देख. This is that Germania. Have seen olive leaves there, sword is there, oak leaves. And there is one more picture. ये तीनों Germania का ही है. She's in the battlefield line. And this is Germania slept down. Germania हार सकती है. ऐसा है. So that is a black and white. So nothing to laugh. तीनों Germania का different pose दिखा है. You have to explain. They might have given one picture. They might have asked you, and 4 or 5 marks का straight away मिल जाएगा. Instead of attending a theory question where you are writing head and brain out and you are getting 3, ऐसा questions आएगा तो easy. Just you have to interpret. Correct? And what else? And if you remember, वो video नहीं दिखा है. This is that symbol of that Prussian dynasty. Prussia. ये जो black color का है. वो एक और एक video है. If I get time, I'll show you. This is the picture of the Great Britain celebrating the British Empire. You see how confusing it is. किस को पकड़ के अंदर डाला उसी को मालूम.
कुछ नहीं.
That is British Empire. पहले बार British Empire बना है. So they are showing through a popular picture. Might be Ireland रहेगा and Scotland रहेगा and Welsh people रहेगा. Correct. It's a big painting showing the British Empire come for the first time in the world map. Correct. And then that's it. Now I'm giving you 2-3 minutes. If you have any queries, please ask. If not, we have to run back to certain very important things which we have not touched upon. So come to that Frankfurt Parliament, everyone. Are we in page number 1313? Everyone. This is very important. I'm asking the last boy to read it so that I will explain. Frankfurt Parliament. Come on now.
The German regions, a large number of political associations whose members were middle class professionals, businessmen.
Put all this into bracket. No need to read, man. Directly go to the next point. Any of the professionals you want me to explain? They all came in which city? Frankfurt, and declared vote for all German National Assembly. Underline that, all German. पहले बार ये Frankfurt में हो रहा है. All the elite people came together. They want a parliament. Parliament like what we have it in New Delhi. Okay, let's see what is a parliament all about.
On 18th May 1848, 831 elected representatives marched in a festive procession to take their places in the Frankfurt Parliament, convened in the church.
Underline. इसका भी एक painting है Saint Paul का. So which church they met?
Same God.
And how many people met there? 831. This is what you have to remember if they ask you a short note on Frankfurt Parliament. Next.
They drafted a constitution for the German nation to be headed by a monarchy subject to a parliament.
Underline. Headed by a monarchy but subjected to a parliament. What does it mean? Udhar hi likh lo. What kind of constitution? You can write monarchical constitution. वो word better suit करेगा. Everyone write that word.
So
monarchical हो सकता है but थोड़ा सा plus minus है वो मैं बाद में explain करूँगा. Autocratic क्यों नहीं? Monarchical constitution or constitutional monarchy. That is easy. Constitutional monarchy. मतलब monarch will be sitting, but indirectly who will be ruling? The member of the constitution.
When the deputies offered the crown on these terms to Friedrich Wilhelm IV,
Did we not see that person time and again in that video? Friedrich Wilhelm. अभी ये 4 में ही है.
King of Prussia, he rejected it and joined other monarchs who opposed the elected assembly.
देखो when this kind of proposal they are giving, sir हम लोग एक parliament बना रहे हैं. फ्रेडरिक विल आप भी आके ज्वाइन कीजिए. उसको लगा ये मैं नेम से के लिए रहेगा और मेरे नीचे तुम लोग रूल करेगा. He rejected it. I don't want to be a part of that constitution.
While the opposition of the aristocracy and military became stronger, the social basis of the parliament eroded.
Underline eroded. Then you write weakened. So the people who were opposing Frankfurt Parliament was more than the people who were supporting it. Hardly how many people met there? And look at that monarch himself doesn't want. And how many people will then support parliament? फिर ये parliament बना या नहीं बना क्या फर्क पड़ता है? But बना वो है ना?
The parliament was dominated by the middle classes who resisted the demands of workers and artisans and consequently.
ये लिखो one more reason to failure. अभी ना we are all elite. We are all meeting in the classroom. Suddenly कुछ लोग बोले सर हम भी आपका parliament का member बन सकते हैं ना? She, you guys are workers. You guys are slaves. How can you come in? फिर पार्लियामेंट क्यों बना रहे थे? कॉमन पीपल के लिए बना रहा है ना. Let them be a member of it. No. हम लोग का पास इतना डिग्री हम इतना तुझे पढ़ना लिखना भी आता है क्या? वो बोलेगा वेरी गुड तू ही कर फिर मैं नहीं आया. So that is one other reason why parliament did not continue for a long time. Common people को लोग हाँ बना रहा है but देखो अभी कैसे मैं explain करूँ. Some certain philosopher and certain idea people are मैं ही है हर जगह. पहला तो सॉरी टू से इवन आप लोग भी आज के बाद मैं करके वर्ड बोलना बंद करो. When you try to remove that from your body, मैं सब कुछ मैं क्या मैं तो अपने आप से हट तेरा बॉडी को भी 2 दिन भी कोई रखेगा नहीं है कि नहीं. So that is why not your body but the soul which is inside you. जिस दिन शायद मैं भी अभी आज तक नहीं करता हूँ मुझे लगता है कि I am the best teacher. नहीं, I am trying to become a teacher. What? That humbleness will allow me to learn new things. If I say no, मुझे ही सब कुछ आता है. I openly appreciated the boy who is doing other lot of work which I am unable to do. उसमें मैं छोटा नहीं होने वाला, but I can appreciate and he might do more the research work in European history. So he might guide 10 different fellows. Are you understanding? So that humbleness has to be there in everyone. अभी शायद वो एक दिन बोलेगा क्या लेकिन उससे ज्यादा तो मुझे knowledge. He might be having. But I am having the knowledge for what you guys are going to write the board exam. That's enough. Correct? चलिए.
At the end, troops were called in and the assembly was forced to disband.
Underline. Troops बुलाया, monarch ने बोला कि सब लोग अपना घर जाओ. हो गया. Frankfurt Parliament open भी और खत्म भी हो गया. Correct? Write one question. Write in the volume only. Why Frankfurt Parliament?
It's write a short note.
That is different one. I am giving a simpler one. Why Frankfurt Parliament was a short-lived parliament? Or give reason for the short-lived nature of Frankfurt Parliament. Why Frankfurt Parliament was short-lived? उतने ही that's it. Lived, short-lived.
Well,
Okay, then again he will continue. We have a small paragraph called hunger, hardships and popular. But uske pehle na, I could read one Balkans province region. Just check where is that para. Because Nerul people told me, but I told them that I'll be explaining next week. Balkans करके कोई paragraph है? 18 में क्यों है? अच्छा उधर गया है. So we will get into that. मैं short में समझाता हूँ. You remember in the beginning I started explaining nationalism and imperialism.
Yes.
But now we have an issue in a big area called Balkans. But before we touch Balkans, shall we finish that hunger dust
Yes,
wala?
yes.
That's nothing big one. Please read hunger wala. Page number 12 again. Sorry, I'm making you to, because I wanted you guys to understand this in a core manner, especially these two. अब इसका तो आप लोग खुद ही तू करो तो नहीं चाहिए. It is a part of our history. Okay, चलिए.
All the hardship and popular revolt.
हाँ.
The 1830s were the years of great economic.
Underline 1830 economic hardships. No need you to read. मैं simple way में समझाता हूँ. The first hardship the Europeans faced was the shortage in the supply of a commodity called bread. Long years of drought. Or some areas like Germany, you remember? Not Germany, France. They had huge hails. You understand hail? That
Yes,
big
sir.
passes of snow. So the wheat production came to a standstill. Suddenly they started importing it from outside, which was very costly. So the first problem many of the European nations was faced was hunger. If bread prices increase, do you think people will support King Louis XVI? Nobody will support. Then hardships aaya, the industries came up, but the population who moved away from villages to cities to get the jobs were 1:100, 1:1000. Samjha, ek industry kula, there were 10 lakh people who were coming in. I think Charlie Chaplin made the movie on this part only, where you are forced to work for 16 hours, 18. What's the movie? 18 hours a person is working in a factory. बेचारा घर जाके सोने के लिए देखता है तो वो बोलता है ना 4x4 में 15 लोग ने 50 लोग रहते हैं. Since you are doing a job which you are closing the cork of a bottle, वो Charlie Chaplin ने उस movie में clearly दिखाया. He is sleeping, but he is doing this handwork again and again. So unemployment was very high. That was a hardship. And if you feel people are without the job, people are without the food, what will start? The revolt started in different parts of Europe. So that is the entire paragraph: hunger, hardships, and revolt. समझ में आया? Let's just go to that Balkans. Very important. So he is reading. उसीलिए main part को मैंने पहला touch किया, ये minor part को last में touch करूँ. Now Balkans, just listen for a few minutes. He'll read it. I'll explain.
Balkans. The most serious source of nationalist tension in Europe after 1871 was the area called the Balkans.
Underline that word 1871. अभी ये जो लड़ाई चल रहा है ना, यूक्रेन, क्राइमिया, जॉर्जिया, वो भी ये बाल्कन्स का ही पार्ट है. एंड यूएसएसआर, मिस्टर पुतिन इज रिलीविंग द ड्रीम. अभी वो 9th को उसने ऑलरेडी विक्ट्री डे मनाने का भी स्टार्ट कर दिया. यू नो, ऑलरेडी रशिया में एक जगह पर पूरा वॉर परेड चालू हो गया. बिकॉज दिस इज द डे ही हैज डिफीटेड द नाजी आर्मी. रशिया जब पहला स्ट्रॉन्ग था, हिटलर का आर्मी को डिस्ट्रॉय करने का वही दिन अभी मना रहा है. 9th of May, Victory Day they celebrate. I think that day entire world might expect big atom bombs or big bomb like announcement by Mr. Putin. उसने already यूक्रेन का 3 टुकड़ा तो कर ही दिया. And he has declared 2 टुकड़ा as the independent also. But अभी भी कीव करके एक जगह intense fight is going on. Kiev is still going on. But we don't know. शायद 7 या 8 दिन वो एक बड़ा न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब जैसा डालेगा जो बड़ा इंटेंसिटी नहीं रहेगा. And next day only Mr. Alsh will be saying, okay, 9th में मैं भी आता हूँ परेड में. Not as a victory fellow, but as a prisoner. So this is the dream of that Russian fellow. Let's see Balkans now.
The Balkans was a region of geographical and ethnic tension.
Comprising of modern day, open bracket, I'll read from him, 2 minutes. It's Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece, Macedonia, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Slovenia, Serbia, and Montenegro. मतलब इतना सारा province मिलके एक province था. Balkans. अभी उसमें एक अच्छा बात है, उसमें majority people were Slav. अभी आएगा next paragraph. Please read.
A large part of the Balkans was under the control of the Ottoman Empire.
Underline again, वही खड़ूस Ottoman Empire आ रहा है. The Muslim ruler. Okay. Turkish Muslim fellow he was. Next.
The spread of the ideas of romantic nationalism in the Balkans, together with the
Disintegration
of the Ottoman Empire, made this region very
circle that would explosive. Did I not explain this romantic nationalism? अभी इतना सारा provinces है, there is no common identity. Since Ottoman Turks was ruling, they were under it. And now it is the slow end of the Ottoman Turks becoming weak, or he's going to die, or we do not know. And suddenly ये feeling भी आ गया. Now they want to break free from which area? Balkans. So that is the story shaping up. Next.
All through the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire had sought to strengthen itself through modernization and internal reforms, but with very little success.
Underline. Modernization and reforms, but ज़्यादा success नहीं मिला. Next. One by one.
One by one, its European subject nationalities broke away from its control and declared independence.
Underline that. One by one. All broke away and declared. This is how the Balkans is a big tension.
The Balkan peoples based their claims for independence or political rights on a nationality and use history to prove that they had once been independent, but had subsequently.
ये point मैं simple way में समझाता हूँ. अभी there are so many provinces, if you remember, Bosnia, Croatia. अभी they saying we want to free from Balkans. There should be reason behind. बोलेगा once upon a time we were free. ये Ottoman Turks ने हमको हमारे control में लिया. And look at हमारा nation अलग है, हमारा culture अलग है, या हमारा language अलग है. So we want to break free. So once such a big empire, Balkans, now slowly all European powers are moving away by showing all the reasons. Okay, next.
Hence, the rebellious nationalities in the Balkans thought of their struggles as attempts to win back the long-lost independence.
Underline, circle that word, long-lost independence. Again, I'm giving you a few minutes. Please read it. If they ask any question, you will be easy to remember ये क्या issue था, Balkan issue.
Why were all the European nationalities being?
Because now Ottoman Turk is becoming weaker, the ruler. That's the reason. अभी तेरा घर में dad अगर strong रहेगा तो family रहेगा. Dad slowly बोलता ठीक है बेटा कोई जगह पर जा रहा है, बेटी और एक जगह पर जा रहा है, फिर काय का full family. I'm just giving an example.
I don't have a sister.
Then whoever it is. Carry on, carry on. And then there is one small paragraph, rivalry among European power. I hope he is reading quick and easy. Chalo, let's get on.
As the different Slavic nationalities struggled to define an identity and independence, the Balkan area became an
Underline Slavic dynasty. In fact, उधर लिख लो Slavs. मतलब ये Slavs अपने आप को अलग नहीं बता रहे. किससे? Balkans. They do not have any history. Like in India, if you see, Aryans, they say North Indians. Mongolians, little bit of the Central Indians. But ये जो Dravidians है, South में, they do not have any culture. They do not have any history. So आज भी Dravidians बोलते हैं, we are the original citizens of India. May be true or may not be true.
And Aryans invaded India.
Aryans also came from out. Mongolians also came from out. Persian also came from out. ये Dravidians आया कहाँ से? कुछ लोग बोले ऊपर से कूदा, but history में कोई record ही नहीं, है ना? वैसा ये Slav का है. Correct? Slav in which area? Balkans. Second point.
The Balkan states were fiercely jealous of each other and each hoped to gain more territory at the expense of.
Are you understanding? Bosnia बोलेगा मेरा boundary तो Herzegovina से भी आगे था. तू कैसे अंदर आया? Everyone becoming very jealousy. है ना? जितना हो सके लूटो. किसको? Ottoman Empire को.
Matters were further complicated because the Balkans also became a scene for big power.
Circle that word. Big power rivalry. It's like one of the big boss. I don't know that, not a serial. Of the many loot जो loot करके territory रखा है, जिस दिन बेचारा वो weak हो गया, all the people, चलो अपना boss ही weak हो गया, जितना मिल रहा है loot लो, है ना? So that is what is happening in which province? Balkans.
If they had stayed together, would there be a?
Why should they stay together? अभी हो गया ना, Ottoman Empire का तो खत्म हो रहा है ना? Why should they stay together? क्यों रहेगा?
During this period, there was an intense rivalry among the European powers over trade and colonies as well as naval and military might. These rivalries are very evident in the way the Balkan problem
अंडरलाइन
unfolded.
वेरी एविडेंट, मतलब ये पूरा राइवलरी दिख रहा था. किसी को सी के ऊपर कंट्रोल चाहिए था, किसी को पॉलिटिक्स चाहिए था, किसी को आर्मी बढ़ा चाहिए था, बट सब अपना अपना रीजन बता रहा है. मैं इधर का आइडेंटिटी रखा है, मैं उधर का आइडेंटिटी रखा है. कैरी ऑन.
Each power, Russia, Germany, England, Austria-Hungary, was keen on countering the hold on other powers over the Balkans and extending its own control over the area. This led to a series of wars in the region.
And finally led to the. I explained the same paragraph in much detailed manner for ICSE 10th standard. World War First A region से वजह से भी हुआ. Tension in the Balkans. We have almost done this. We have got still 5 or 7 minutes. You can relax. You can ask me questions, or you can pack your bag and relax to run away out of my. Man, who am I to decide the future of Pakistan? Now, पहले इसका तो पूछ लो. If you have any queries. No questions. So you are getting ready and packing up.
तू अभी भी आगे बैठा.
देखो वो तेरा वेलफेयर के लिए बोल रहा है, जा रहे क्या हो गया. हाँ तो उसको ये कर दो ना, साइलेंट क्या, स्विच ऑफ ही करो. हु इज इट, एनी अर्जेंट कॉल? अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है, देन शो सेटिंग्स में जाके करो. उसको मालूम है क्यों नहीं होगा? ब्रिंग हियर. लड़कियों का मोबाइल देखता है. ब्रिंग इट हियर, कम हियर, आई विल टेल यू. सेटिंग्स अंदर आओ. पूरा दिन में यही चालू है.
पूरा दिन में
किसका फोन है बाय द वे? एंड देन यू गो इनटू द सेटिंग्स एंड साउंड मोड में उधर जाओ ना. हाँ भी करो. और टेक्नीशियन उधर पीछे बैठा है और तुम लोग सब. So this Sunday the nationalism test comes. क्या comes? It will be there. So appear the test with full confidence. जितना हो सके आप ट्राई अपना लेवल बेस्ट. नोट्स भी मैंने दिया है, बट ऑलमोस्ट फॉलो व्हाट टेक्सचुअल लाइंस एंड व्हाट योर यूनिवर्सल ट्यूटोरियल लाइन से. यू कैन राइट माय ओन आंसर्स आल्सो. टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक विथ यू, आई एम नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट टीम वेयर सेटिंग करेक्शन, बट आई एम ऑलवेज देयर. I will be seeing the paper once it is given to you, correct? And even with corrections or any other thing, you can easily approach to me. And once the paper is done, once it comes to me in my email ID, I will also discuss with your क्या बोलते ना interest. क्या हो गया तेरा? ये मेरे पास है. Sorry. So now you can further discuss any. इसको throw करो. It is going to. हाँ slowly. तुम क्या डस्टबिन में इधर बैठ के थोड़ी वो तुम्हारे पास आएगा. तुमको जाना पड़ेगा. जाओ. वो एसिड थोड़ी लेके जाइए उनके लिए. अच्छा. What's the query about Pakistan, my dear boy? अभी नहीं पूछेगा. तुमको जब टाइम दे रहे तो नहीं पूछेगा. लेक्चर. Yeah, as per recently American, one of the, I can't remember his name, they said maybe next 5 or 10 years तक ये country पाकिस्तान वर्ल्ड मैप में ही नहीं रहेगा. हाँ नहीं रहेगा, because बलूचिस्तान anyway going to join India. Then उनका 2 छोटा पंजाब एंड सिंध प्रोविंस पड़ा है. One Baluchistan joins with India. They say 2/3 or 1/3, more than half the part is Baluchistan, Pakistan का. Did I not say like this? ये part है ना. This part is that Pakistan or Baluchistan. If it comes to India, Pakistan will be much smaller than even Sri Lanka. Already they are into bad debts. फिर क्या करेगा वो? अभी जो 2 दिन के पहले जो केस हुआ, one of the fellows ना, when he was going to that Shehzad, what's his name, the new prime minister, Nawab Sharif, Shehzad Sharif, the younger brother of the Nawab Sharif, वो लंदन में है with lots and lots of crime, money laundering, and इस भैया के ऊपर भी बहुत सारा money laundering का scam है. इमरान खान ने खुद इसको उठा के अंदर डाला. Shehzad Sharif. And look at the fun when he is taking the oathing ceremony. The day Supreme Court of Pakistan has sent him the notice. मतलब जिस दिन प्राइम मिनिस्टर वोट ले रहा है उस दिन उसको नोटिस मिल रहा है कि आपको मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का स्कैम में हाजिर होना है. And he has given the written application. Sorry मैं आज नहीं आ सकता क्योंकि आज मैं प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनने जा रहा हूँ. मतलब देश का प्राइम मिनिस्टर जिस दिन वो वोट ले रहा है उसी दिन उसको बड़ा कोर्ट नोटिस भी भेजा. तो ऐसा कंट्री में कौन चलाएगा? एंड वो और एक जो यंग लड़का है ना, ही इज द सन ऑफ दैट बेनजीर भुट्टो. इसके पहले मैंने बोला ना किसी का स्टोरी सुना था बात.
पाकिस्तान पे
नहीं, बेनजीर भुट्टो का. शी इज a real mastermind. She has killed not more than I think 11 people of her own family member to become the prime minister of Pakistan by poisoning them. क्योंकि उनका डैड वाज अ वेरी इन्फ्लुएंशियल पॉलिटिशियन. जब उनका डैड का डेथ हुआ, हाँ, उनका डैड का जब डेथ हुआ, ऑल द ब्रदर्स
अरे पाकिस्तान में
ट्राइड टू डोमिनेट दिस लेडी. फिर ये लेडी का जब डेथ हुआ, किसी ने मालूम पड़ा कि उसका हस्बैंड ने उसका सुपारी दिया. She was thrown out by that Pervez Musharraf and she was out of Pakistan for many years. फिर वो इलेक्शन लड़ने पाकिस्तान में आई and वो है ना ओपन कार जैसा था and there was a bomb fitted inside the car and she blasted into many pieces and after few months उसका husband बना president आसिफ अली जरदारी. and फिर बाद में केस खुला तो किसी ने बोला कि आसिफ अली जरदारी नहीं, बेनजीर भुट्टो को मार, क्योंकि she also did some, है ना. चलिए, anyway, best of luck for your Sunday's paper. If you still have any queries or anything, you are most welcome. चलिए, thank you. Girls want to move or I'll move out? अच्छा, चलो पहले इनको भेज देता हूँ, जाइए.
निकल ही जाता.
Boys move first quickly.
Bye. चल पटकन.
चल बाद में ठंडा ही आता है, तो तुम लोग पीछे जाओ, मैं जाने दो, तो ये बाद में
That officer